In today's video, we're going to be going over some options trading, specifically covered calls, and how I'm using this strategy to generate extra income every single month. And on top of that, we'll be going over my monthly dividend income, what I bought on Robinhood, what I bought on M1 Finance. This is going to be a jam-packed episode, so let's jump right into it. For anybody that's brand new, my name is Bruce Wang, and my portfolio today is worth $51,563. We're using Simply Safe Dividends as my dividend tracker. And let's jump right into the income report for this week. So this is already included with what I invested this week into my portfolio. So I'm projected to get $2,217. So one of the main goals that I've had since 2018 was to generate $200 worth of income every single month. And I'm so close to reaching that. I should be able to reach that within 1 month if there's no dividend cuts. That's a big if, because you know what's going on lately, and it's not been good. So for anybody that's interested in anything that I'll be going over today, links are going to be in the descriptions for the free stocks, for my portfolio, if you guys want to see what I'm investing in, for Simply Safe Dividends. All of that's going to be down there. So let's jump right into the Robinhood portfolio to see exactly what I'm doing with my options trading. So last week, I updated you guys with what I was doing with options, and I posted a picture on Instagram. If you guys haven't followed me there yet, go follow me. But basically, all of you guys were asking for that options tutorial. What am I doing? Am I going to be able to make money off of this and whatnot? And I'm telling you, I think that I found one of the better ways to generate extra income every single month, and that is going through an options trading strategy called covered calls. This is the first time I'm ever doing it. I've researched this for a while now, for probably a few months now, and I've kind of understand the basics. So let me go over that as best as I can with you, all right? So on Robinhood, my portfolio is worth $2,259.79. We've been doing pretty well over the past few weeks, and obviously with the Rona pandemic, we have a little bit of loss on the portfolio, but I think that we'll be able to gain on that relatively soon if I just keep investing for the long term. So let's jump into the portfolio to see exactly what I'm trying to do with my portfolio here. So with covered calls, that is a great way to generate some extra income every single month. But one thing that you have to do, or you have to have, is that you have to have 100 shares of the stock before you can do a covered call. So I have 100 shares of Realty Income. I have 100 shares of SPHD, AT&T, ExxonMobil. I'm almost there. I'm trying to work my way up. It's going to take me probably a few more weeks. Nike, I'm way behind on that. Starbucks, I'm way behind. And Apple, I'm way behind. If I were to do covered calls with Apple, I would need $300,000 to do that, which is going to take me years to get there. So for my experiment here, I'm doing covered calls with Realty Income, and I have 100 shares of Realty Income right now. Current price is at $52.59. And if you guys want to do covered calls, you would need 100 shares as well. And luckily for you, you guys can even get in at under my average cost. My average cost right now is at $56.14. So basically, you would want to hit this trade button, go into the trade options, and you're going to be hit with a lot of information that, you know, I don't know anything about any other options trading except for covered calls. That is, options trading is very complicated, and the one that I could grasp the easiest was covered calls. So before we dive deeper into this, some of the key takeaways from covered calls is that you get to generate extra income from options premiums. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. I want to, because I'm a long-term investor of Realty Income, I'm willing to hold this out, you know, for years and years on end, just so I can collect dividends on a monthly basis. I'm selling call options on this so that I can also generate that options premium. And the contract that I chose was the $62.50 call option. So here's an overview of my covered calls with Realty Income. I have a strike price at $62.50, and this expires on June 19th, 2020. So I executed this on May 15th, and the limit price is also how much I'm earning per share. And typically when it comes to options trading, one contract is worth 100 shares. And moving on down, you can see that My total premium that I made off of this already was $20. In the short term, $20 is not that much money, but if I'm able to execute these covered calls for over the long period of time, I think that this will help me out to lower my cost basis on realty income, because it is still pretty high compared to how much it is worth at the moment. And another key takeaway when it comes to covered calls is that this strategy is meant for long-term investors. It's more of a neutral strategy. So if you're really bullish on a stock, most likely you shouldn't be doing covered calls on it. And also, if you're very bearish on a stock, most likely it's better if you sold instead of just doing covered calls on that stock. So now that we got all of the key takeaways out the way, let's take a look at what is going to happen. There's going to be two scenarios of what will happen to my options contract on realty income. So I'm doing a covered call on realty income. 100 shares is equal to one contract. The average price for realty income for me right now is $56.14. So that is why I chose the $62.50 strike price. That is way out of the money for me. Most likely that will not get reached. That means that realty income has to increase in price about $10 from today's price, which is $52. So I'll kind of expand on that a little bit later. So total equity for me, so I purchased a total of $5,614 worth of realty income for those shares. And the premium that I am collecting, or I've already collected, is $20. This will expire on June 19th. The strike price is $62.50. So when it comes to the first scenario, June 19th comes along and the price of realty income is lower than $62.50. So that means that this contract is out of the money and nothing is going to happen. I will be able to collect my premium, and I'm going to still own all the shares of realty income in my portfolio. All right, so that for me is best case scenario, that nothing happens and I get to keep my realty income, and on top of that, I made a little bit of extra money on top. So essentially, I've lowered my average price of realty income by $20, and I don't really know how to calculate that right now, but let's jump right into scenario number two. So in scenario number two, on June 19th, realty income is $62.50 or more. So that means that this contract is in the money, and I would have to sell my contract. I would have to sell all of my realty income shares at $62.50. So the option is exercised. I have to sell all of my stock. So when I sell all of these stocks at $62.50, I will effectively have to sell them at this total price at $6,250. My price that I bought all the shares at was $5,614. So my profit from that is $636 plus the $20 premium, which equals a total profit of $656. That's not bad if you ask me. I will take that at any day. Will realty income hit $62.50? It's possible, but I believe that it is very unlikely within the month. With all of this Rona situation, with all of the reopenings, everything's going to be reopening slowly when it comes to all of the properties that realty income has. So I believe that it's going to take a lot longer before realty income hits that price. So that is why I kind of chose a strike price that is really not attainable in my opinion. So in scenario number two, I would have probably been better just holding the stock if the price just kept going up higher and higher, like if it went to $63, $64. So when it comes to scenario number two, it would have been better if I just held on to my stocks and not did this options contract. But you have to be comfortable of letting go your stocks at the strike price. And that is why I chose a strike price that was so high. So now let's jump right back into Robinhood to take a look at the covered calls options here. So now we're at realty income. We're gonna hit the trade button. We're gonna hit the trade options. At the top, you can see all of the expiration dates. The further out you go, the higher the premiums will be. So if we did a premium at expiration date at January 21st, 2022, your premium would be $905. I would never do this, all right? So I would most likely do it on a month-to-month basis. So we're going to be doing June 9th. And you can see there's tabs to do all of the other options trades, but I'm only strictly doing covered calls. So if I were to, let's take a look at the $55 call options here. So if I were to do one contract here, I would get a $135 premium. But I would also never do this because it is way too close to the strike price. So the price of realty income right now is at $52, right? Is at $52.59. So in a month from now, is it possible for realty income to hit $55 and over? Yes, it is very possible. But for me, I have a very big disadvantage because my average cost is at $56. So if I were to do that, I would essentially be selling at a loss if that were to get called. So that's another reason why I chose the strike price at $62.50 because it is a lot further out of the money, and also I'm comfortable at selling at a $62.50. That is a big gain. That is a lot of gain on my original purchase, my average cost. So if we go further out and look at all of the other strike prices, you can see that there's a high chance of profit, but the premiums are so low, it's not even worth doing it, in my opinion. So that's another reason why I chose the strike price at $62.50. All right, so lastly, let's take a look at the graph here because there are some pros and some cons to doing covered calls, all right? So another important factor that you need to understand about covered calls is that your profits are gonna be capped, all right? So my strike price is at $62.50. So that is why there's like this flat line here. If it goes up any further, so for example, if it goes up to $65, I cannot catch that appreciation, that capital gains. That's all goes to the buyer. So you have to understand that there are downsides to this as well. So if you're really bullish on Tesla, you would just hold it and not do any covered calls on it. So the downside here is that your profits are capped and you cannot collect this extra $2.50 per share from your covered call. And another downside to covered calls is that if your stock for whatever reason loses a lot in value, you're gonna see a lot of loss here. And if you're really bearish on whatever stock that you own and that you want to do covered calls on, most likely it would be better for you to just sell that stock instead of holding it while doing covered calls. Like I said earlier, covered calls is more of a neutral position, a neutral strategy where, stocks that you own is going to be very stable and the price is not going to fluctuate way too much. So if none of that makes sense to you, don't worry. It didn't make sense to me either when I first learned about this. And I'm going to link all of my resources down in the links in the descriptions for where I learned about covered calls. But let's jump into the dividend income and what I bought this week for my investments. So on Robinhood, I invested into ExxonMobil and SPHD. I bought $176 worth of ExxonMobil. That's equivalent to 4 shares. And SPHD, I bought $166 worth of that for a total of $342 invested. And this increased my dividend income for the year by $20.57. Slow and steady when it comes to this dividend growth here. So before we jump into the M1 Finance portfolio, don't forget to drop me a like for the YouTube algorithm. Smash that like button, guys. We are at $17,000, pretty much $18,000 when it comes to the Wang Gang portfolio for 2020. I am still working on that 1 year review. But basically this week I invested $715 and I did 19 buys. I did the automatic purchases. I let M1 Finance fill out my pie for me. And these are all the stocks that I invested into this week. And if we take a look at my holdings, I have 32 positions, so no major changes there. And my unrealized gains, I'm up $300 from everything that I own in my portfolio. So hopefully you're going to be doing some dividend investing very soon and also generating some extra income with those covered calls. If you guys want to watch more from me, don't forget to watch these videos here. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this, and hit that notification so you know when I'm coming out with a new video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and also follow me on my second channel for more content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.